Hey, Truce Podcast listeners, this is Chris Starin, the host of the Truce Podcast. First of all, I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I hope you're taking this time to reach out to family and friends, but also to forgive people that maybe you have grudges against and to call that person that you just haven't talked to in a long time. I've got a few quick announcements today. First of all, I'm going to be changing the cover art for the podcast. My friend, filmmaker Andy Huff, designed a new piece of cover art that works beautifully for next season, and I wanted to tell you in advance before I get it out there so nobody freaks out and thinks that the show went missing or whatever. It's just a new look to prepare us for Season 6. And speaking of Season 6, I'm working really hard on it. It's coming along wonderfully. I think these are some of the best I've ever done, but they're also some of the most complicated episodes I've ever done, and they take a long time to produce. So I'm trying to get about 2/3 of the season done before I start releasing. I have about a week and 2 days off from my school bus driving job, and I'm hoping to use most of that to work exclusively on the podcast. And finally, I'm looking into new ways to finance the podcast because these long breaks are hard on you and they're hard on me, but it's the only way I can really do this show and also maintain a minor form of sanity. As you know, I'd eventually like to do the show full time, but the money's just not there yet, so I'm seeking out advertisers for the podcast. So if you have a product or a company you'd like to advertise for on the Truce Podcast, visit trucepodcast.com/advertise. And there you can read all about the rates and sponsoring the show for a whole month at a time, and then fill out the Google form with all the information that you have, and I'll get in touch. Or you can email me at trucepodcast@yahoo.com. Even a little bit of help would go really far for me, and also, hopefully, give you an opportunity to reach a dedicated and truly awesome audience. Season 6 is coming along so well, I've got amazing guests. More Pulitzer Prize winners like Jesse Eisinger and Frances Fitzgerald, and renowned historians like Rick Perlstein, Barry Hankins, Angie Maxwell, and so many more. Next season covers everything from taxation to Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter, the pro-life movement, changes in economics, and the women's liberation movement. It's going to be fascinating, and I can't wait to start sharing episodes with you. Thanks for your prayers and support. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to follow the progress of next season more closely, visit patreon.com/trucepodcast. Okay, thanks again for subscribing to the Truce Podcast and for sharing it with your friends. Follow the show on social media, join our email list on the website, all the things. God bless you all, Merry Christmas, and God willing, we'll talk again in 2024.